Sabrina is a stylist, creative artist, businesswoman, and empowered mom. She is in continuous pursuit of her goals by pursuing her creative endeavors, both in her personal life and in business.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. So today we have a beautiful woman that I have seen grown up to blossoming into a successful businesswoman and an empowered mom. So without further ado, let me introduce you guys to Sabrina Mesina. Hi Sabrina.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, and for those who are close to you, we call her Beans. So Sabrina, it's been a journey. I think we've known each other for years and years. But before we talk about what you've been up to now, can you please share with everyone how you became the empowered woman that you are today?
I was thinking about this question. I think challenges. I was thinking about this the other day, talking to my son, and when he was having a hard time with his schoolwork, and just how no matter what, we always make it through. Sometimes we make it through in worse shape, and sometimes we make it through in better shape. But for me, I think no matter what, the thing that's made me so empowered is having failed at small things or having failed at big things. But the empowerment was in getting back up and keep going, and how I recovered from that. Honestly, like I felt each challenge and I felt each fear when they were there. Mm-hmm. And what empowered me was to keep going and to keep moving and keep creating almost in any, like, whatever field I was in at the mm-hmm. moment. I think also growing up, my mom was very empowering. She was just always like, you could do it. You could do anything. I would say I wanted to be an astronaut. She'd be like, you could do that. Or you could be in the world and everything. And she never told me that I couldn't do something. Mm-hmm. I think that my upbringing and my siblings and everything, just having like a small core group of people that no matter what believed in me, even if I failed, always helped sort of push me back up. You know what I mean? And I think that mainly, but the empowerment for me became like, that's why I highlighted the challenges, is the challenges pushed me forward more. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Of course it does. I think it goes with the learning experience of what we go through in life. And now you're a mom of two, and I know your household is always exciting because I see in social media all the creative stuff that you have your kids do. So can you share how is your creative juices going, especially right now?
Sorry, what did you say? How is my going?
Creative juices flowing right now, especially at this time.
I think more so, honestly, I was going through like almost a block before the holidays last year, and I was just uninspired, I think, and I kept trying to force it instead of just owning up that like I'm really not inspired. I need to step away and everything. And then everything happened with the quarantine, and like one of the silver linings for that for me was that my partner was able to stay home with me, and it just gave me more time to just create and indulge all the ideas that I had been marinating on, I guess, or percolating. And so I've just been practicing on my own and everything, and just trying to like hone in my craft more. That's how I'm using my own time.
How did you start being a stylist? Because I know you have been styling for quite some time now.
Right. honestly, my mentor, Rosario Herrera, she's the one that got me into it and sort of gave me that push. I was always like very into, well, like I was very into fashion to some degree, but more just like making up a new, I love making up anything new. It's like what gets me like gets me inspired is just creating something that hasn't been out there or hasn't been seen or hasn't been done, something like that. And we were out. I ran into her so many times, and she's like, "Be a stylist, just do it." And then one day, she's like, "I'll book you for the shoot." And she told me what I needed to bring, and I just sort of like got catapulted into that industry. I want to say just out of there's always a need for new creatives out there, and there's new talent that bring a new perspective. I would say, and so I took what she said and I just ran with it because I just didn't. I was my business. I wasn't operating my business at that time. I had the free time and just went for it.
And what was your like? I guess when you style a certain individual, is it from looking at the personality or what the campaign is, or is it your own style?
That's a good question. I'd say there's a lot of different projects. There are some projects like per se a telecom commercial, and that's pretty strict what the client wants from you. It's their brand image. They've built up a brand image, so you don't want to put them in anything that compromises that too much. So I think with every project, you should bring a little bit of your own style to it or signature, as with anything I want to say. But my favorite projects are the personal projects where you're just styling somebody for their own event or for their own shoot or something like that, because that's where you have the most freedom to sort of just dress up however you want. And then there are fashion editorials where it's your editor that you're running with the whatever campaign or set look you're trying to achieve or trends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say
go ahead.
No, I would say it's a little mix of everything, except when you get to bigger corporate jobs where you do want to help take care of the brand image and give the company what they're looking for.
What's your most memorable work or gig in styling? And who was it? If you can disclose that.
Yeah. I think my favorite has to be maybe Rian Ramos. I styled her for Star Style, and I also styled Megan Bata before everything happened. But I would say Rian Ramos just because she was the most unfiltered celebrity that I had worked with. Usually when the talent is on set, you sort of have to, the staff wants to make that person comfortable and feel them out, sort of see how they want to interact and what they're comfortable with. They have so much work all the time. But I think with her, that was the funnest. It was an all-girl shoot. Shira Luna shot it. And I think we just all had a lot of, it was it just vibed the most. For me, I remember that, just having a great time.
And now
Sorry?
Go ahead. What did you say?
Oh, no, I was going to say Megan Bata's shoot. I just loved the content. I loved exactly how it came out. I styled her in a few of my own pieces, too. And so that might have something to do with it. But I just love the overall look of making that there.
Yeah, Megan Young, right?
Yeah, Megan Young.
Yeah, she has an Instagram. But anyways, now I noticed that you have a YouTube with Jay, your partner. What is that about? And how did that come about?
It came about, I think, just me editing. I'm always taking videos of my family, of my kids, because I want them to have that. It's my favorite thing to look. It helps savor their memories and something to look back on and hold, basically. And I just got into video editing, to be honest. It was just fun for me, and I only have a few videos up there now, but I got really into YouTube last year, just watching different YouTubers content, beauty vloggers, or just lifestyle vloggers,
Mhm.
art vlogs, and I
Mhm.
was just like, I want one. And my son wanted one too, and I was helping him build his own channel, so we both
Mhm.
kind of like egg each other on with videos, like just do it, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Grace's YouTube channel. Awesome, so cute.
Yeah.
So with that, you wear many hats, and I know as humans, as moms, we have our off days. So how do you motivate yourself when you feel unmotivated?
How do I motivate myself? Um, Honestly, I totally know what you're talking about. I would say my biggest motivation is, well, at the end of the day, my kids, because I just look at them and I'm like, I kind of forget about how uh, stressed out or tired I am or anything like that, and lean into, like, as soon as they look at me, how happy they're always happy to see me. You know what I mean? I'm always happy to see them. So I think what motivates me is just honing in that tiredness and just using them as kind of like, no, we can do this. We've been tired before. We can get up. We can do this, you know?
Yeah.
And then once I'm up and, or just with any project, once I'm in the middle of it, like, I just sort of like set myself into the motions almost.
Hmm.
I've sort of learned to learn that I have to take myself out of certain mindsets that for
Hmm.
myself aren't like healthy or conducive, or they don't get me anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've just had to take some time and maybe spend some extra time in the bathroom and just, I'm just sitting in there, I'm just sitting here for a minute. And then that helps me a lot. But that's what I would say.
Yeah, moms out there, you're not alone. The bathroom is our office, our safe haven for no one to
Yeah.
come in.
With that,
But
I also say, like, owning up to being tired. I think
yeah.
sometimes people, or especially moms, I've noticed amongst my own friends that sometimes we're too afraid or too shy to say that we're tired, or, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's wrong with my head today. And I've learned to communicate that, especially to my partner. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I need right now because
Mhm.
I'm just not mentally in it. You know what I mean? But I think being honest with yourself from that point,
Mhm.
or learning that for myself, to be honest with myself,
Mhm.
from the
And,
get,
and
is a lot.
and that's exactly what our campaign is, you have to be in love with yourself and take care of yourself before you can really be 100% for taking care of others. And I like what you said, that, just to be honest, it's okay. We're not superheroes, although we feel as though we are. I get that. But yeah, I've had that, I think, same challenge on, like, admitting that, hey, I'm tired. It's like you feel like you're not supposed to be because you're like the mom, you have to take care of the house. But, women need to be honest with themselves and express it. Otherwise, that's when we kind of go a bit lost even more. So speaking of that, apart from your YouTubing, what else? Is there something new that you've learned about yourself during this quarantine?
Something new. That I can do. I think that I can go for it. I think I have a lot of projects that I've let fall back for myself, and I think going back to having that extra block of time, as it was so up and down. But for me, one of, like, the good things that came out of it was having the time to focus on the projects and really get to see, like, where are you going? What's so important?
Yeah,
Oh, that's my baby.
that's all
But
right.
yeah, I think if anything that.
Speaking of big hats, go ahead, get him. You want to be hi, Grace?
Say hi.
Look at that. What a good brother. Hi, guys. There they are, the cuties. Hi. I like your haircut.
That's his quarantine cut.
I think all kids have. Oh, you didn't go for the shave look.
Yeah, Jay wanted to.
Yeah, I was in the same position as you, but I didn't win that. But anyway, so I remember you also grew up in San Diego. San Diego? Or you grew up
No,
in
the Bay
America,
Area, actually.
the Bay Area, and you flew to the Philippines to be with family and also, just take the risk of being in a new environment. How did you feel back then, and what would you say to your younger self now?
Ooh. I would say I want to answer the end part of that question first, and
Yeah.
I would say that my childhood growing up here, that I would say to myself, it'll make you better. This will come to you tenfold later. Because when I moved out here, it was '94, so I pretty much grew up here. I want to say I was like 6 or 7 when we moved out here, and it was so different. It's developed a lot out here within the past 20 years, but it was such a culture shock for me. I stuck out so much. I felt like than just anybody in my class or just on my street, amongst the kids on my street. And it was a really hard learning process because I didn't speak the language and everything, but through it, like, I love living here. I love the Philippines and everything. I love to see the development and everything, but that having experienced that growing up and just sort of having to like take the punches, as they say, but I think that helped me. I will, like, when I was young, like, a lot of kids feel different, and sometimes that can make good experiences, or sometimes it can lead to bullying and everything like that. And that's why I said about the thing, it coming back to you. To this day, I still feel different. You know what I mean? I feel like that's why I do fashion styling, because of that different perspective. Like, what makes you different will come back to you. Things that, like, having been bullied for certain things, or just anything growing up, works for me now as an adult. I've learned to, like, use it to my benefit, I want to say.
So, with the guidance of what you love to do, like in the creative aspect in the fashion industry, who were your mentors, and who were the people that you looked up to, whether it be locally, internationally, or just within your circle?
Within my immediate circle, my mom, for sure. Growing up, my mom, it was like her and my dad, but she was the main, like, parental in our household of 5 kids. And through that whole time, I saw her start a business or restaurant and just take on so many projects all on her own. And that's why I said in the beginning, she's my biggest motivator. She always told me I could do it. You can do it. And I'd see her struggle and go through any creative process. And then the next month, I would be helping her at some trade show or something, I would say. The next one would be my mentor, Rosario Herrera. She is just like, I wish I could keep her in my pocket, because anything, like, she's just so experienced in the fashion industry, and she keeps such a level head. You have never ever seen her sweat. I think when I first started styling, I was always stressed. I was always stressed about every single thing. Is this okay? Is this okay? It's just like, she was this calming voice that was like, we're here because we want you to do it. She was just always reiterate the calmness and bring that level of professionalism to a shoot. I've never seen her be unprofessional in any way. I always admire that about her.
Yeah, I've worked with Rosario for various shoots and fashion shows, and I get the calmness. Like, you don't see her stress at all. It's like, this, that goes with that. Yep, that's fine. I'm like, okay. If you stay
problem, even there's a problem, she'll just be like, okay, well, we need to fix this. Try it again.
So shout out to even the whole Herrera family. They're awesome. What about internationally, like celebrity wise?
I don't really have. I have this. I would say that something about their look or their kitschiness is inspiring for me, but I don't really have any that I try to, if that, to explain something, I try not to be too involved with like Hollywood mainstream or even this, I want to say, just because I've been trying to hone in my own aesthetic or anything like that. But I would say Rihanna. She's got killer style, or her stylist is my favorite stylist in Hollywood right now.
It's like fierceness, woman empowerment type style.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, I love
definitely.
it. So, for young moms, I mean, you're a young mom. You are also, a businesswoman and everything like that. What words of wisdom would you share to them, most especially at this time?
Go through the steps, go through the proper steps. They're all there. It may not make sense to you in the beginning. This is hard, this is too much, and you want to like cop out or take the easy route or cut corners here and there. But let all of those beginning steps, relish those, take those in, and like really, that's your foundation for anything that you'll go through later in life, I would say. Have a good support system, even if it's just one person that you can talk to honestly or that'll hear you, and just take care of that. Don't ever be afraid to say like I don't have it, or like ask for help, ask for advice. I would say my biggest thing looking back when I first started my clothing business was I wanted to hear more people's advice. I didn't really know anybody else that was that had started a business or that was in the middle of starting a business. That was just them, you know what I mean? And I would say just take in all the advice that you can, just even if it's something completely different than to what you're doing. Just absorb all the information that you can.
So with that, Sabrina, what other gigs or online YouTube channels that you want to promote to everyone right now?
I don't really have any other things to promote right now. I mean, you follow me on YouTube because we're starting to gain a little bit more momentum with our videos. But yeah. Follow Make Your Mother Lover on Instagram. It's and that's coming up hopefully this year. There's been a few hiccups, but it's a women's empowerment page, and sort of a woman, if you'll put it, like a mommune or a woman, where we can all just sort of like unload a little bit without any unsolicited just advice. We could all just like let it air out a little bit.
We have a question here online for you. Hi, Miss Sabrina. What are style tips for oversized ladies that you can recommend, I guess?
Hi. Oh, I love this question. I would say play with shapes. Don't be afraid to go play up your best feature. Pick what you like the best about yourself and focus on that. Even when you're shopping, like, do I want to show my legs? Do I want to show my shoulders or my chest or my back or anything? Don't feel the need like you have to cover up or anything like that. I would say look for shirts or things with more asymmetric, like odder shapes and things like that give you more diversity than just some basic t-shirt or something like that. And layers, I would say, like, don't be afraid to layer either, to add that extra dimension and sort of play with your shape.
So I think our summer is a little bit done, but what are the styles that you can recommend everyone to wear, I guess, during summertime, apart from the swimsuit?
I'm a big fan recently of the bigger pants that are making a comeback. I want to say the airier linen pants or the canvas pants that I've been seeing. I've been seeing a lot of it in Japan, but the wide leg with the airy pant and then a smaller summer top or something. I think that's my favorite that I've seen recently. But I'm trying to think of a specific. It's been so long since I've been out.
I know.
Right.
But maybe you can, on your stories or maybe your next YouTube, you can share your tips on maybe, because I remember you cut a shirt for me maybe tips on how to, like, because that's what I've been doing. I've been getting a lot of my shirts that are just sitting in the closet. I think a lot of souvenirs that came from family from overseas, and now I'm cutting them up. I'm like, oh, I can wear this. So maybe you can share a tip like that on the style, because I know everyone has a lot of clothes that they cannot wear or they don't want to wear, but actually if they just cut it up a certain way, it's like a totally different shirt, right?
Exactly. It's funny that you mentioned that. I was literally pulling shirts out of my my drawers the other day because I wanted. I saw this shirt on Pinterest and it was just a band shirt and it was all bleached and everything, and I was just like, I'm gonna go do that. I was like sourcing throughout Jay's shirts, like give me this and give me this, and just trying to read everything. Just fun.
Actually, I saw that you did do some dyeing with bed sheets. Was it what you did? That was awesome.
Yeah. I need to do it again because I put it in the water and it just like the rubber bands just exploded, and so what you saw sort of the the result of that. But that's exactly what I mean. I've recently, even further than that, I've been thinking more and more about sustainable fashion and how fast fashion is just really good for the earth, and what we can do to sort of slow that down, at least from my perspective as a buyer and shopper. And it's just like after being inside, you realize that you don't need all of that stuff. Just what was right in front of you, like what you said, like I just wanted to grab this and cut it so I could use it. Like, it's so much more healthier, and I would say better better for the environment.
Exactly.
It's fun to shop, and I'm obviously I'm a stylist. I love to shop, but the fun thing for me is doing the unexpected with something that's right in front of you. I think a lot of people could do that too.
So in as far as let's say your health, is there like a routine that you do maybe for working out or eating healthy?
I don't work out too much. I mostly do yoga and stretching, usually at night after my kids have gone to bed. I like doing it in the morning, but I'd say my mornings are mostly just for my routine and to get me going through the day. And then I try to stretch and do some light workouts in the middle of the day, especially with my partner. As far as that, I usually save it for the end of the day and wind down and start stretching and do some yoga then. And I go to bed so much better since I've started doing that. I would say that's been my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, that's a good
But
idea.
as far as diet, I don't diet like that, but I also I would say in line with that, I don't eat a lot of junk per se. You know what I mean? I generally eat what I want if I'm being active or if I'm out, but we do a lot of home cooking here anyway, so I don't have that much opportunity or opportunity to diet like that. But I'm just really big on listening to my own body. Like one day I might crave like instant noodles or something like that, and I'll do it, but usually, and that my body can process it, but sometimes I'll want that and my body just rejects it. Do you know what I mean? It completely rejects it, and I won't do it again or anything. But just listening to what my body wants or needs, like I need a salad, or I just need a big bowl of vegetables, or you know what I mean, something more balanced. And then sometimes I want a brownie.
Yeah. Well, you're allowed to. You work so hard. So with that means, again, can you share some more hope for everyone right now, most especially for young entrepreneurs, young moms, even people that are internationally listening to us right now?
Stay strong. I would say hold on to your mindset. Like I said, I think at some point earlier into this, you're gonna experience tough times, or even days like one day you're great, and then the next day you'll wake up and you don't know really why you're doing anything anymore or what your goal was. But just it's important to have keep a notebook to journal and stay with your message. Always have a message of or a reason, like hold on to your reason of why you're going and why you're doing what you do in the first place, that you could check back in with and see and give yourself those own reminders, and it'll keep you going. It'll like it's hard to explain, but just listen to your listen to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, like, you're not always going to be as strong. Your energy is going to fluctuate, but
Mm-hmm.
give your future self reminders of why you're doing what you do.
Mm-hmm. And with that, guys, as Sabrina was saying, know your why, write it down, your dreams and your passions, because we still have a lot of time. Maybe you don't see it right now, but just enjoy the present. Don't worry so much of the future. Just be hopeful and, know that your network and your loved ones are there for you. So with that, guys, I will have Sabrina's social media account on the caption so that if you have any more advice or any more questions to ask or advice that you might want from her, you can go and reach out to her. And I'm sure Sabrina is more than happy to answer questions from you guys, most especially right now. So with that, guys, actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in. Another episode of In Love with Me. Thanks, Beans. I'll catch up with you again. Shout out to
Thank you for watching In Love with Me series.